This is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your weekly Bitcoin update, weekly Bitcoin analysis, broad brushstroke analysis, and the Bitcoin real-time index. I did record this video, by the way, for the week of Monday, November 17th. This just begin with kind of the broad brushstroke. It was a year ago that we closed above this substantial 5-year channel top that is now at 86,215, a formation we're expecting a retest of in the coming weeks, by the way. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, after closing above it, we rallied to that January high. We collapsed back on all the tariff talk and the big sell-off in the stock market, but we never closed back below this structure. We spiked below it significantly, certainly tested the long positions, but there was never a reason to sell a longer term unless we closed back below this structure. And in fact, we rallied to new highs. We rallied to this full wave count, 122,433, nothing more than subtracting the 22 low from the 21 high and then adding it back to the 21 high, the full swing, I call it A minus B plus A. This is an exhaustion point for any market, really, especially longer term, and that's obviously, it's been behaving that way. We've tested, if you're looking at just the weekly bar chart, 4 individual times. Most recently was a new all-time high, and then we collapsed back to close negative on that week, and that was the beginning of this sell-off that is still in play. I could go through, there was a channel bottom, for instance, that we closed below, if you recall. It got a little sloppy, but that was an indication of follow-through weakness. We're in the midst of that right now. 86,215 remains in reach, and I'm going to combine that actually with 81,053, this rising channel bottom. This area here is significant for Bitcoin. This is called the low to mid 80s, 81 to 86,000, able to contain selling through the first quarter, maybe even through all of 26. And from here we can round up within, I'm guessing, 3 to 5 months to the 122,433 area and perhaps even higher.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
This channel bottom would then have a channel top on this trend line in the low 130s and climbing, but is yet to really form. We have to test this channel bottom first before this trend line becomes a channel top, in which case you could then anticipate possible upward rotation longer term to the channel top. So that's kind of the big picture right now. You could even say that holding below 122 will keep this area in reach because these are the big longer term swings in the market. I'm going to jump, though, to this chart and show kind of the near-term resistance. I do need to include this low here that lasted for about a month, and that is at 103,528. This is a sellable resistance area for the week and perhaps even into December. I guess that's not saying much. Over the next few weeks, we can fall, I think, holding below 103,528. We should see 86,215. We might even see that this week with the recent volatility that we've had, which has been much higher than what we saw, several months ago. So holding below 103.52, I'm going to say by the end of December or sooner, we should fall into this zone that is rising and narrowing gradually. They actually converge in February around 87,200. So that is really it. There's really nothing inside of here that I see as an obvious area that you can trade off of. You do have the trend line off these lows, but I don't think it's just off of last week's low. It's not really a significant trend line. It is just there as a means of creating this channel top. So if this area, if we do rally out of here, if we do close above 103,528 this week, I think we do have a good low for the month of November. And within 3 to 5 weeks or sooner, we push into this zone between 113,105 and 118,962. 113,105 is the low of the high. This was this reversal high, this all-time high back in early October. And so it's a significant low. After having closed below it the following week, we certainly tested it, but we never closed back above it. And so I see this as a meaningful ceiling, especially when you combine it with this newly formed descending channel top that is based on the trend line here, 118.962. This area all converges over the next 3 or 4 weeks in the 113 handle back to 113. So this is a narrowing zone of resistance. I would expect within 3 to 5 weeks of closing above 103.528 that can contain buying for the rest of the year and even through January, and we can fall away again from here. I think that if we close above this channel top in the coming weeks, and we're not going to do it this week, but over the next month or two, if we close above the 118.962 channel top, that is our indication for upward continuation to this 140.285 rising channel top. So I think this is the big buy signal as we continue through the first quarter of next year. If over the coming month or two we can close above 118.962, we've got a good low into the second quarter. The following 2 to 3 months then likely to push on into this low 140s and climbing. Significant overhead long-term resistance, able to contain buying on a quarterly, possibly annual basis. And certainly along the way, you have this 122.433 that I will not ignore, but I keep saying it. On the next attempt, it's going to give way, but it just keeps holding. I honestly thought on that third attempt back in late September that it was going to give way. It didn't. It fell away just a little bit. The following week, we pushed to a new high and collapsed. So this is still an important area, 122.433, but in terms of structure, in terms of closing above this descending channel top in the weeks ahead, I think that is our buy signal through the first quarter, this 140.285 and climbing then our next 2 to 3 to 5 month target, depending on the timing of all that. I'm going to leave it at that for this week's Bitcoin analysis. You have a great week.